The Nordic penitentiary system is revolutionary. In Norway, the goal is rehabilitation, not punishment. There is no death penalty, and the maximum prison term is only 21 years. Incarceration in Norway is more like an extended vacation in jail. The prison cells at Halden Prison in Norway have flat-screen televisions, designer furniture, ensuite bathrooms, and mini fridges. The cells look like a page out of an IKEA catalog. The cells are certainly luxurious, at least by American standards. However, the cute and cozy prison cells are meant to be a reward for inmates. You can't hide contraband in a flat-screen TV, and happy prisoners are less likely to be violent. Halden Prison has been called the most humane prison in the world, and inmates can enjoy activities like rock climbing, soccer, basketball, or jogging. Norway spends a lot of money on prisoners. The government spends an average $93,000 per year on each prisoner, which is considerably more than the $31,000 average in the United States. Sweden's prison system is nearly as successful as Norway's prison system. In fact, many prisons in Sweden are closing because there simply are not enough inmates. Recidivism is at an all-time low in Sweden because the country does such a good job at rehabilitating prisoners. Sollentuna prison in Sweden is so eco-friendly that it won an award. The Tabellen 4 building of Sollentuna prison features an 1,100 square meter green roof made of plants, a ventilation system that recycles heat from the air, 6,000 square meters of insulating glass. Sollentuna prison is great for Mother Earth, but the inmates have it pretty good too. Prisoners have private bathrooms and have access to a common living area with a big screen TV. Inmates can even cook their own meals in a state-of-the-art kitchen. Prisoners in Sollentuna prison even have access to tablets that they can use to review evidence against them. The use of tablets was part of an extensive Swedish program that cost the government 3.1 million Swedish kroner. Criminals in Austria practically beg to be incarcerated in Justice Center Leoben. Overcrowding is never an issue at this swanky prison. Only 205 inmates can be housed in the prison at a time. The prison has a sleek and modern design. Frankly, it looks more like the office building of a tech startup rather than a penitentiary. Justice Center Leoben was designed by famed architect Joseph Johansson and features floor-to-ceiling windows that allow prisoners to peer into the outside world. That's a far cry from prisons in America, where inmates have to stare at concrete walls. Inmates at Justice Center Leoben have very few restrictions. They can even walk freely around the prison. Cells don't look like typical jail cells at all and have attached bathrooms and kitchenettes. The cells look like college dorm rooms, not jail cells. Boredom is not an issue for prisoners here. They can relax in the courtyard or enjoy a game of ping pong. After working up a sweat playing basketball, prisoners can cook their own food in a well-equipped kitchen. Prisoners don't have to wear jumpsuits. They can wear their own clothes. The Austrian government spends as much as 373 million euros on its prison system each year, and it costs about 99 euros per day to house an inmate in Austria. SCI Phoenix certainly doesn't seem like a luxurious prison at first glance. After all, it's a maximum security prison in the United States, so you would expect the conditions to be quite harsh for inmates. For the most part, that's true. However, there is one inmate at SCI Phoenix who has it a lot better than most inmates. SCI Phoenix is where Bill Cosby is serving his 10-year prison term. And while other inmates have to eat Jell-O, Cosby gets to eat much more upscale fare. Cosby reportedly gets extra commissary food like turkey bacon and a variety of cheeses. He's even reportedly allowed to smoke Cuban cigars and watch TV in his cell. Most inmates in prison are cut off from the outside world, but Cosby is allowed to answer emails on his personal tablet. Prison can be tough for most people in the $400 million SCI Phoenix prison, but Cosby seems to be living a life of luxury. Inmates who have extra cash can serve their time in style at the Pasadena City Jail. Pasadena City Jail is a pay-to-stay jail. Inmates can fork over $143 per day and a $64 admin fee for a nicer room. So what do inmates get for the payment? Well, for starters, inmates can often bring their own electronics like portable DVD players or iPads. Better still is the fact that the inmates are sometimes even allowed to leave jail to go to work. Naturally, pay-to-stay jails like Pasadena City Jail in California are popular with celebrities. Dr. Dre served time for a probation violation using the Pasadena City Jail pay-to-stay program. Only the rich and famous usually get to stay in the $3 million Pasadena City Jail using the pay-to-stay program, and the city police department makes about $130,000 per year thanks to the program. Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman might have thought she'd get away with paying $15,000 to have her daughter's SAT scores fixed. But she got caught and had to pay the price. However, Huffman managed to avoid serious jail time and had to spend a mere 13 days in the upscale minimum security women's prison, FCI Dublin. Forbes once called FCI Dublin one of the cushiest prisons in America, and numerous other celebrities have served time there over the years, including heiress Patty Hearst and Hollywood madam Heidi Fleiss. Huffman's stay in FCI Dublin was likely a walk in the park, as inmates are treated to filling foods like tacos, meatloaf, Salisbury steak, and fish sandwiches. That might be a step down from the fine dining Huffman is probably used to, but it certainly sounds better than some school lunches. Inmates at FCI Dublin can enjoy a wide variety of exciting activities like origami, cross-stitching, bingo, and ping pong. Huffman was even allowed visitors and could sunbathe outside during her short stay. Here's another example of luxurious inmate living in Europe. It seems every country across the pond realizes that recidivism drops dramatically when prisoners are treated well. Inmates at Champ-de-Laune prison can attend workshops where they can learn to sew, draw, paint, and make crafts. Champ-de-Laune wasn't always like it is now. It actually used to be known as one of the worst prisons in Switzerland, but the prison underwent a massive transformation. Much like many inmates who have spent time behind bars. The prison used to be incredibly overcrowded, but a $40 million renovation seems to have solved that problem. Today, Champ-de-Laune has cells that many describe as being as good as a 3-star hotel. Some cells are so spacious they can fit 3 inmates. Each cell includes an attached bathroom and feels like a budget hotel room rather than a prison. Indonesia is not known for having luxurious or even acceptable prison standards. But if inmates have enough cash, they can bribe their way to a more luxurious prison stay. Inmates at Sukamiskin Penitentiary in Bandung, Indonesia, who were ironically serving time for corruption, bribed the warden with gifts, cash, and even a new car. In exchange, they received perks like air conditioning, water heaters, microwaves, and even big-screen TVs. Some inmates even reportedly were allowed to leave for the day if they promised to return. This is a fairly widespread problem in Indonesia. Pondik Bamboo Women's Prison in Jakarta came under scrutiny when it was discovered some inmates bribed their way into luxury cells with flat-screen TVs, leather sofas, and even maid service. Well, Norway makes the list once again. If you thought a maximum security Norwegian prison like Halden was impressive, just wait until you get a look at a minimum security prison like Bastøy. Bastøy looks like a campground rather than a prison. The island prison in southern Norway has no armed guards or fences, and inmates even get keys to their rooms. The prison, it feels weird even calling it a prison, is surrounded by luscious pine trees and stunning rocky coasts. Prisoners can even partake in unique activities like farming. Milking cows is as good a workout as lifting weights, after all. Inmates get to sleep snugly in cherry-red cottages, and during the day enjoy fun activities like horseback riding, sunbathing, and fishing. There's even a sauna where inmates can relax after a hard day's work. That's the catch. They have to work. But chopping wood and picking weeds from the garden hardly seems like a fitting punishment for murderers. Any kid who grew up on a farm had to do these things, even if they were good. The inmates at Bastøy don't wear prison garb, and neither do the guards. Inmates cook their own meals and earn $10 per day from work, plus $125 monthly stipend for food. Some luxurious prisons may seem like a 5-star hotel, but this one is literally a 5-star hotel. You can stay here for a mere $504 a night, or you can stay for free if you're arrested for corruption by Saudi Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The Saudi prince arrested members of the Saudi elite in a corruption purge in 2018. Arrested officials got to stay in the Ritz ballroom while hotel guests were shuffled off to other hotels in the city. The Ritz-Carlton Riyadh has an elegant bowling alley and glitzy indoor swimming pool. But only guests get to have fun at the hotel, not prisoners.